This is Jay High with Couch and Keyboard back at it. And this time we're going to talk about a lovable character that has at one point taken over Melee, but it's a bit hibernating right now. And that is the Kong himself, Mr. Donkey Kong. And so, I think it's pretty interesting because Wustoons had a great documentary that came out in 2023. I've watched it through like 3 times. It's like, oh shoot, this is so cool because like Donkey Kong was so irrelevant. Like, okay, you saw Donkey Kong in Project M. He had some pretty simple combos in Smash 4 and eventually Ultimate, but like Melee DK just sucks. Well, eventually Donkey Kong was taking names off of pretty much everyone. 2023 was when the documentary came out, and then Donkey Kong only got better. And it was pretty crazy to where Junebug got 40th, and we saw a little bit here and there with Kyle Minkadator or Quang or Kumquat Cylinder, whatever you want to call him, also getting top 100. But 2024, I would say, is the peak of Donkey Kong, where you saw Junebug at 19, Quang at 29, being at 36. 3 in the top 40 is pretty insane. I mean, that's more than Samus, that's more than Pikachu. Right around Falco, honestly. I guess 4 Falcos. But, like, that's pretty insane. I think more than Peach. Like just the frequency of seeing Donkey Kong was kind of nuts. 2025, still really strong. Junebug getting that Zane win. But you see down here, Bing, entering a bunch still, but Quang didn't meet eligibility to get on the rankings and didn't see much from other players in general. I think Akira beat Sunsei at Genesis, which is good, but overall it seemed to be a little bit of a downward swing. Junebug staying the same, which is good, but as a whole the character not getting as much representation, and eventually we saw it to where currently the monkey himself is not doing as well. Now, Dial M is the new monkey on the scene, doing some really good stuff, having a crazy Genesis run. I mean, beating Gatsu, Ossify, Grab, Daniel. Like, yeah, Marth DK has been criticized as a pretty good matchup for DK, but it's like, I mean, you can't just pick up a game controller for the first time. Like, you have to be really good, and yeah, I think this was very solid, getting 17th. A lot of people have been kind of focusing some attention toward Dial M. I had heard of them, but I didn't really know much about them. But I mean, if you get top 24 at Genesis, that's no accident. So, and losing to Salt and Crudo, who were top 10 over the summer last year, so that's not bad at all. So we're still seeing pretty active. There's like this tournament series that's going to, like, whoever wins the most, like, is going to get a flight or something. And there's won a few of those. I might try to do more research on that. It's pretty interesting. But wants to get a lot more attendance at stuff. Enters a lot of Colorado stuff. I had no idea how many locals were in Colorado. I mean, this is like 3 in the past 2 weeks. So that's really impressive. I knew they had a little bit of Ultimate between like Kronos and Rydra and a few other pretty good players. But this is really cool. I mean, 32 players at a weekly. Like, that's good. Especially kind of in the middle of nowhere. Colorado is pretty isolated. So, yeah, that's good practice. And, like, some of the players, I'm not super familiar with some of these players. Fizzwiggle, okay. Fizzwiggle, pretty known for Genesis as well. So I guess Colorado does pretty good at Genesis. But yeah, so we've seen Dial M kind of take over the mantle right now. But, like, where did everyone else go? So Bing is still pretty active. I believe is from like upstate New York. Goes to Canada a bunch. I'm pretty sure. And so has been entering a decent amount actually. Getting ninth at Fast Falls, fourth at the Frame series here. I think they do a different move on the picture. It's pretty cool. Top 64 at Gommel, not bad. Gommel I don't think was super top heavy. Lost to Frostbite. That matchup can be a little bit strange sometimes. Uh, but yeah, so and getting top 50 for the summer, 55 for the entire year, uh, Bing is still going to stuff. The farther you are away from things, like if you're in NorCal, yeah, like SFAT's gonna go to Genesis, like that's just gonna happen because it's like 20 minutes, I'm sure. Like, but if Bing has to make a choice to travel a pretty long way, then that's something that is a commitment. And so even though we're not seeing Bing travel as much, we're still seeing a decent amount. Um, but yeah, Bing pretty solid. No crazy wins right now. Real thing, Boyd, Swift. That Swift win looks good right now, but not at the time. Nothing too crazy. Mo is hasn't come to America in a long time. Europe has kind of fallen down a little bit. Like yeah, there's Triff and Nikki. Like there's a few solid players, but there's just been less, I think, potency for Europe. And Mo, we'll go to Denmark stuff. Nothing too crazy, but it's nice to see him still entering stuff. And I think if there's like a, if there's a kind of it was Avant, whatever the four. I assume that means three. If there's another Valhalla or Arca Melee or something like that, I'm sure Mo will attend, and I'm sure a couple Americans will attend as well. Kind of give the opportunity for some good matchups there. And the last player that's been pretty active is Preeminent, but I have not seen Preeminent go DK hardly at all. It's been pretty much solo Fox, which is like, okay, Fox is pretty good character. And we've seen Preeminent do pretty good, solidly around the top 40 range. Peaked at 39, came back for the summer. Solid player from, I forget if Preeminent and Ben are like from Wisconsin to go to Minnesota stuff. I think that's it. But yeah, Midwest, they do some stuff. Preeminent gets a decent amount of experience. I haven't seen the DK in a while, but it does enter with Fox, so you never know if it's a counter pick. I guess keep tabs if you want, but I'm expecting Preeminent to stay Fox. For the inactive players that kind of had a lot of the spotlight, Junebug is a big part of that. Hasn't entered since November of last year, which is not a crazy time. I mean, there's still plenty of time to enter again. We'll enter some Richmond stuff. It's good to have stuff local to you where there's a decent amount of players. I assume tried to qualify for the Nouns Invitational and didn't quite get it. A little disappointing, I'm sure. Losing to Triff and Panda. Those aren't bad losses. Even beat J. Chu and Ben. And getting that crazy Zane win earlier in the year, along with a decent amount of good placings, take a break. That's fine. You don't have to prove yourself every week all the time. It's okay. I'll be patient. Apparently, Dial M is kind of like a student of Junebug, which makes sense. Junebug has a great mind for the game between all the different characters and games that he's played. So that's fine. I want to see Junebug again, but I understand. As you start to, if you burn yourself out or you have other things that you want to do with your life, by all means. Akir is pretty interesting as kind of like Bing goes Falcon and Falco sometimes. Preeminent mainly goes Fox and goes a little bit DK. Akir, I think is a Marth that also goes DK. And it seems almost even. I think people tended to go like more likely to play Donkey Kong because it was like a popular thing to do. Um, I mean, so much to where Donkey Kong is the official uh, character on like, which also I think is inflated by online brackets. As you can see, entered a lot of online brackets um, from Florida. So there's a decent amount of good Florida players. I mean, you got Moth, Panda, Equilateral, like Komodo. Like I'm sure. I don't know if Wizzy's still there. I think Wizzy might have moved. Gatsu, like, Crudo is Florida, right? Yeah, like, so a decent amount of experience if you want it, but hasn't been entering since September. And that's fine. Had a strong, I don't think quite qualified for rankings, but I mean, number 37 in the summer last year is really good. One of the highest DK has been. So props to here, but haven't seen him in half a year. So, and then even more of a mystery is Mr. Confusing Tag himself, Kyle McNadator, getting top 30 and then nothing. Did go to Valhalla, which is big ups. Like, it's been going to some big tournaments. Really was going like this stretch was a ton of tournaments, and then kind of took a break. April to September went to a bunch of big tournaments, and then went to Europe. Went to some local here, beating Coin in grand finals. I don't know Coin, sorry, but kind of lost to Mo in the DK Ditto. Yade, which is not bad, but just probably not as well as he was hoping, and haven't seen him in a long time. It's been almost a year since like a major, and like 9 months since there's been like a local or anything online or offline. So I think that I wouldn't say that Quang necessarily has more stylistic fans than Junebug. I think it was just more representation, getting that Moki win, like just being able to be another person that potentially is in someone's path, I think is like, really appealing to a lot of people. But I haven't seen Quang much. I think is Michigan? I'm pretty sure. And Michigan has some stuff, but haven't seen him in a while, and that's how it goes. Da is the most mysterious. I didn't even realize that Da and Quang were different players in the documentary. I remember, but nothing too crazy. I think it's more of kind of a style like labbing type of player. Doesn't enter very much. We'll go to a couple things here and there. But it's been almost a year since anything. I mean, Pacific Northwest. I assume this is Washington. WWU. I assume that's Washington. I'm not quite sure. But Western Washington University. I have no idea. But maybe if there's another Dome Park or something like that. Maybe some Oregon stuff. But haven't seen Da in a while. And then Wrangler, who I think became a lot of people's first, Donkey Kong. Yeah, there was Green Ranger and all that kind of stuff. But, the first Donkey Kong to make some name, make a name for himself, of, going to all those summits and then getting, a win against one of the best marks in the world at the time, and taking left into Game 5, all these things. Wrangler kind of became, a huge part of that. Haven't seen much. Took a long break between June and then I think DQ'd at a final bracket. Only did pools, I'm pretty sure, in Australia. Haven't seen Wrangler in 15 months. And I know Wrangler has done some streaming and whatever. Maybe just the grind caught up to him and wasn't feeling it. But yeah, I mean, that was one thing because I was like doing the Pikachu, like oh look at all these Pikachu's, like it's like four of them are really big, and then there's like a few after that. It's like dang, there used to be a ton of DKs, and you're not really seeing them much anymore. I mean, I think that Dial M is probably the like obviously the future because he's what, 17, like he's pretty young. So like yeah, that's definitely going to be the future. Kind of like Ratmouse are just graduating high school, and all these young kids have more ahead of them. Not only with the young man reaction times, but also just having more years to be able to like have to be a top player. But yeah, I do like seeing DK. Don't like playing against DK. Shout outs to Granny and Corgi, two DKs I've played against many times. I guess I haven't played Granny that much, but I've seen Granny play a lot, and DK's scary. Um, but yeah, I want to see more DK. I think it's healthy for the meta to shake it up a little bit. And I mean, Genesis, if that's just the start, we could see. I mean, might even get top 50 from this alone if he qualifies. Like, I mean, 20, 75, 79, 95. Like, that's really good. I don't know. That kind of depends on potency. Like, I think there's a decent amount of first half tournaments between, like, Out of the Blue coming up. There was the one that Smash Valley just happened. We have obviously Full House Invitational. I think some stuff is a little bit later. I'm not sure if Gommel will be the cutoff or not, but Battle of BC, like there could be enough to where this alone won't get Dial M to be on there, but for Colorado, I'm sure can get to at least one more major. I am probably the Canadian tournaments are both kind of far. I mean, it's like I don't know. Maybe you would go to Gommel. Uh, Maybe try Out of the Blue. I would definitely be interested to see how Dial M does that if he went to Out of the Blue. But yeah, even if Dial M doesn't get ranked, I think like the seeding will definitely be favorable to where you're not having to play one of the best players in the world for top 128. Like Dial M is going to have the respect and will obviously have a lot of opportunities to keep going and stuff. And so I think that Dial M is kind of the torchbearer right now. I mean, Bing and Mo are both active. We could definitely see Bing at Gommel again and other stuff like that. But DK is kind of in a hibernation right now. But definitely potential. I mean, I think that sometimes people are kind of flippant with their attendance. I mean, me personally, I haven't attended an entered tournament in a while. And I think it's easy to kind of be at the comfort of your home and like just observe or even fire up Slippy. So no hate to any of these players for being less active. I appreciate what they've given us so far. But in terms of Donkey Kong offline representation, haven't seen that much. And I mean, I think I had noticed because there hadn't been a DK update in a while from Westoons. So I was like, I wonder what's happening with that. But yeah, I want to see more DK. And I think this year could be a return of DK, a double renaissance. I don't know what you would call it. Postmodern, who knows? But yeah, let's see if we see more DK this year. Very interesting to see.